Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and on this channel we cover all things beauty and a whole lot of fragrance content. And today I am going to be sharing with you all 18 juicy, fruity, amazing fragrances perfect for spring, summer, or year-round. Wear what you want when you want, but for me, I just think these really do come alive and perform the best in the summer and spring. So I have a whole lot to get into. I'll link everything down below. The first fragrance I want to talk about is Perfume from Emir. This is a Middle Eastern brand. The second fragrance I'm going to talk about is Mango Punch, and I just think the bottles are so stunning and they're pretty heavy, so that is a great touch. Now, pear potion, what I love about this fragrance is I do like pear scents. There's so many in my collection I truly adore, but I have to be honest, I prefer red and pink fruits to green fruits any day, even though I do love them. This one combines the two, so you do have the pear and green apple, so it opens up very juicy, fruity, and crisp. But quickly you start to get that raspberry, which gives it more of a feminine, flirtatious touch. You also have caramel adding to the sweetness, though I don't pinpoint caramel. I could see it because there is something to this that is more than just a fruity sweet. And there's a really beautiful musk that is almost a bit sensual. This is such a beauty, and I seriously recommend anybody to try this fragrance for summer or just year-round. Mango Punch would really set the mood for any summer date night. It's sexy, it's so tropical and bright, especially in the opening. There is not only mango, but you're getting the mango mixed in with that pineapple that I've been loving in fragrances. So you get that mango pineapple fruit juice opening. There's also some dark berries that you do get as well, adding to that sensual vibe. But to me, what really gives it that seductive vibe has got to be the patchouli. And if you're not a big fan of patchouli, you may not like this. I will say this is more palatable than Fleur's Mango Mood, which some people find very dirty patchouli, and I totally get it. Also a mango, sexy, fruity scent. I also think it's not as rough around the edges, coming from the extra spice you get in that scent. This one is a little bit more sweet, fruity, and fun. Fragrance number 3 is Kayali Eden Juicy Apple. This is jammy, bright, and juicy. If you are looking for something that is a little syrupy sweet, and it's just gonna put a smile on your face every time, this is such a good option. It's feminine, it's uplifting, and the sugared musk at the base to me is so pretty. I know someone just told me in my comments on a TikTok live actually that they don't like the base, but I really do. And not only is it about that juicy apple, but there is lychee, I get the raspberry bloom, and it's just a really pretty option if you do like apple fragrances. Fragrance number 4 is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Coral Fantasy, and this one is a very pleasant, inoffensive, fruity floral. I always say, but this fragrance reminds me of the girl who's cool with everybody. She is the mutual friend. She is just a sweetie. And this would be a great option for meeting the parents, for a brunch, even for just going to the mall, wherever, when you just want to smell good. But I think it does really nicely in the warmer weather. If not, I don't get the best performance. But if you're looking for something that is fruity, it is musky and floral, I think this is the way to go. It opens up super juicy, super fruity, kiwi, citrus heaven. But as it dries down, I will say it does get a lot more just fresh musky, with a touch of cedar. The cedar is not masculine or anything like that, but this is just very easy reach. I have to put it on skin. Just this one, hopefully. Yeah, the kiwi in here is really delicious. I'm getting a lot of the orange, and This one also has ambrette, which is such a pretty, almost sparkly musk. Very, very nice. I love this one. One of my first ever fragrances I added to my collection. And I remember when I first got the fragrance thinking, wow, that is so much money. And still, it is so much money. But I was thinking like, oh, I won't get into fragrance. Such an expensive hobby. Girl, if only you knew. Fragrance number 5 is L'Imperatrice from Dolce & Gabbana, and this is one of my favorite scents. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure this is a toilette, so you are gonna have to overspray or reapply throughout the day, but I got this on a really great deal, so for me, it's totally worth it. And if you're looking for something that's very sheer and very lightweight, very aquatic, fresh, and fruity, I think you'd absolutely adore this. Now, some people do not like that green vegetal rhubarb. If you don't, you're not gonna like this scent, or maybe you will because it is so sheer and watery from the watermelon. I don't know, but I totally love it. There's also a kiwi note in here. There's a little bit of that slight pink pepper spice. There's some florals, but ultimately, more than anything, it's just a really watery, fruity fragrance. Perfect for a hot summer day. And it's very musky, very fresh, and I really don't think the rhubarb is super irritating in the scent, but I will let you guys let me know what you think. 6 is Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid from Viktor and Rolf. This one opens up and it's very, very juicy with the peach, but there's something very interesting to it because it's also a little green, so you have the most juicy, fruity peach note mixed in with the vine of the peach. So it's fresh, green, fruity, very juicy and sugary in the opening, and as it gets to the base, it gets even more sweet, syrupy, and thick. I love the way they did the vanilla in this scent because you could wear it for summer or you could wear it for winter. Very similar in that way to Kayali Eat and Juicy Apple. The way they've done this makes it incredibly wearable year-round, and I always feel good, and that is very similar to how I feel when I wear Ruby Orchid, because that juicy, fruity touch makes it great for summer and spring, but then that syrupy, sweet vanilla makes it perfect for year-round. By the way, I am in no way saying that these smell the same. To me, this fragrance is much more powdery and it's a little bit more elegant, I'll say, the way it's done, whereas this fragrance is much more juicy, fruity, and to me, very youthful. 7 is Tangerine Boy by Fleur. For me, this opens up and you get the lemon. The lemon is very bright and invigorating. Then you get this really delicious tangerine, the most juicy, ripe, realistic tangerine you've ever smelled. You can get the peel of the tangerine, so it's a bit bitter. I think that's coming from the moss note, and there's also a fresh, spicy kick coming from the ginger and also the black pepper. But more than anything, the lemon and the tangerine are the stars of the show, and the combination of the two on my skin, especially as it dries down more, comes off very, very soapy. I don't want to say it smells like dish soap because I've said that before with my friends, but I get something very soapy and not in that musky, fresh, you know what I mean, way that I really like. And it's very unfortunate because the opening to me is so pretty. I also wish I got that apple note a bit more because I think that would have saved it for me. Hello?
Good afternoon, parents. This is a reminder from Savannah.
But I wanted to at least include it because it is really juicy and fresh, and other people might like it. Number 8 is Angel Nova from Mugler, and this scent is nuclear. This is probably top 5 of my most long-lasting, best projecting fragrances I own. It's very fruity and very fun. It opens up and you have this really flirty, syrupy, sweet raspberry note that, again, you guys know I love raspberry so much in my fragrances, and it's met with a really flirty, lychee. As it dries down more, you do get more of that complexity coming from the oud and also the benzoin. I love benzoin in my scents. I always sing the same old song, but I find it such a sexy, expensive note in fragrances, and I just love the way they did it here. There is a rose, and the rose is very fun and youthful. It's not a mature rose. To me, this fragrance is very feminine, it's very rowdy, it's intense. If you want to be noticed, this is the scent for you. And like I always say, it reminds me of Delina, but just the more rowdy, free-spirited sister. Mine is Batik from Aroma Concepts, and this is a really cheery, fun, bright scent. If you like watermelon Jolly Ranchers and the idea of smelling like a more fresh, wearable version of that sounds good to you, then you would love this fragrance. It's very juicy, very, very fun and sweet. And even though it does smell like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, it's not too sickeningly sweet, which I do appreciate. Very bright and uplifting, and it's a fragrance you're gonna put on whenever you want to smell fruity, sweet, and fresh. So this one is Batik from Aroma Concepts. There's not too much to say. I know that the notes I get the most in the fragrance are the watermelon. I get a green fresh melon note, that musk, that beautiful musk at the base, little bit of the praline adding to sweetness, and the other fruits are just muddling up and making the scent of watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Next is Taskeen from Paris Corner, and this, if you like the note of peach, you're gonna love Taskeen. This reminds me of a combination of two things. On one side, I get sweet sugared peach rings, and the other, I get a refreshing peach tea. It's so sweet, a little warm, very, very fruity and juicy, especially in the opening, and it just makes my mouth water. I feel like I can smell the fuzz of the peach. That's how soft and kind of fuzzy the scent is. I really like this one. It's perfect for summer, and because there is some warmth, it's great for year-round. I love mixing this too with it's called La Fade Intoxicate, and that one is kind of similar to Angel Share but not as strong and intense. And it's a warm cinnamon sweet scent. Oh my gosh, the two together smell unreal, but also mixing this with other fragrances that are juicy and sweet is so fun. It's one you just don't want to stop smelling. It's pretty linear, I'll say, but for what it is, for how much this is, it is amazing, and all of my peach lovers should check it out. Taskeen Marina from Paris Corner. This one, I feel like the bottle makes sense because it's more see-through, it's more translucent, and the fragrance is as well. The fragrance is more sheer, it's more light. This one is more fresh and musky, mixed in with those citruses. You have grapefruit, and what else? What is this? Let me see. I know there's grapefruit. I don't think blood orange. Some type of orange for sure, mixed in with the grapefruit. It's very citrusy, it's fresh, musky, and I wouldn't say aquatic, but yeah, it's really beautiful. For summer, I think this will be amazing. If you're not wanting something that's too sweet, this is perfect. And this also has some black currant the more it dries down. And I just love that musk. It's a little soapy, very, very, very refreshing. So Marina, this is gonna be your more fresh, light type of fruity fragrance. And I always say, but I do get like a fresh melon note. 12 is Sheer Fantasy from Britney Spears, and this is one of my favorite fantasy flankers because it's very sheer, it's very lightweight, it's aquatic, and so fresh, you guys. So if the original's a little too heavy for you and you want something that feels more lightweight, this would be perfect, especially for summer. I want to put this one on. I've been loving this lately. It opens up and you get that citrus water and that dry quince, and for me, quince with that and the iris, it gives it a dry, powdery feel that to me comes off a little bit more expensive. You still get that juicy lychee mixed in with the sweet cupcake and musk. It's very pretty to me. Perfect for any hot summer day when you just want to feel refreshed, a little sweet, fruity, musky, and put together. I love this scent. And the florals in it are also gorgeous. There's water lily and lily of the valley. This is so good, you guys. But very, very light, so I do overspray. 13 is Eden Sparkling Lychee from Kayali, and spoiler, my 14 will be the Care. So I love the lychee one from Kayali because it opens up and you really do get not only a lot of that candied lychee, but you're also getting the black currant. And to me, this one opens up a little bit more bright and effervescent. It's a little bit more sparkly, if you will, which I do enjoy about this fragrance. They're both super girly, very playful, so uplifting, but I just think that pop in the opening for this one I like a little bit more at times. As it dries down more, the black currant and the fruity lychee are still there. They're sugary, sweet, and delicious. But as it dries down, you start to get more of that candied violet, so it's a bit powdery and floral, but not too much. This still stays candy sweet and super fruity. But I do get more florals, for example, in this one than in the Care. So again, it's really girly, it's really pretty. You have that sugary musk at the base that I just love. And if you are looking for something that is just going to be super juicy and very feminine, this is amazing, especially for a girl's day out. This one has more of a candy sweetness. They really amped up. I get more of not only that candied lychee, which you just want to eat, but I also get a juicy, scrumptious apple. This is so, so good. It's still sugary and it still does have those florals, but for me personally, I pick them up way more in the Kayali than this one. And the best thing about this fragrance, before I forget, is it has better performance. So to me, the issue I have with the Kayali is it sits very close to the skin. I can get a good amount of hours, but it's super intimate. Like I literally have to put my nose so close to my hand or anywhere on my body to smell it. Better on clothing, of course, but for the price, it doesn't have the best projection, okay? But this one does project way better. I can smell it throughout the day. I get those gentle whiffs and it's just so beautiful. That was my biggest grievance with the Kayali, so this one makes me so happy. 15 is Meliora from Perfumes de Marly, and this one truly does have a champagne, like a fruity champagne smell to it. It's very, very effervescent and fruity and musky and beautiful. There's a green undertone coming from the cassis. I can't even smell it, I'm just going off of memory. Oh yeah, there's that green undertone coming from the cassis. There is this beautiful, cool freshness to this scent that I am just obsessed with. It's very chic, very elegant. Some people might think it doesn't have enough character, but I think it has just enough. I get so many compliments on this fragrance. I love the berries that they listed. There are red berries, there's black currant, and it is just so stinking pretty. The only note that doesn't make sense to me is the ylang ylang. I don't get ylang ylang at all. I also don't get much of the rose, although I could see it just adding to the femininity and the elegance. So I love this. I think it's so pretty. And again, very uplifting. This one is perfect for spring. The only issue I have is with the longevity. So I have not wore it yet in the dead of summer. I recently got this fragrance, so I'm hoping in really, really high heat, this does perform a little better. It projects, it just doesn't last. And for the price point, that's a little underwhelming. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!